but I have an instant feeling. I feel so sweet towards you because your father was a carny.
Yes.
Like, is that
Yes.
like, I have such a connection with carnies.
You do?
Yes. Carnies to me are the baseline of our business. And
We are kind of all like carnies.
100%.
We're hawking shit, selling ourselves, doing a song and dance.
Some of the
Come
great.
and play my game.
Yes.
25 cents.
And-
You can win a prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's all that.
it is all because some of our business was built. Some of our greatest people, like Sid Croft, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Basically, the inventor of Saturday morning entertainment stuff. He was a carny.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was a carny, and his best friend when he was a young 14-year-old was the man with no face. He told the story on this pod, and it's a heartbreaking story. And he was like, he protected him. And I just know circus performers, but it's not just carnies. I used to do a hidden camera show, and I considered them as much my family. And carnies, because they would hide in a bush or behind a tree and shoot stuff. Or when we go to these cons, we're making incredible money.
Yeah.
And yet it's a carnival atmosphere because of the way it is.
Yes.
A set.
Yeah.
You have someone, you know, this movie star, and then you have a grip, but we're all a family. It's a carny. It's, you know what I'm saying?
It's a carny atmosphere, yeah.
And
for
it's,
sure.
I just love it. So you really, and the fact that you're so, to me, well adjusted, I can't believe how well adjusted you are.
Well, I think I'm well adjusted.
Probably worked on yourself.
I have worked on myself, gone to therapy and whatever, but I also feel like when I was younger and I traveled every summer through Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Virginia. That was our area that we went with Ken Penn Amusements and Straits shows, STRATES.
What was the was it a circus or
it wasn't
fair?
See, a circus is different than a fair or a carnival. A fair is like a county fair. It's kind of big with games and rides in a midway. And you would have, you know, a tent with the two-headed cow or the bearded lady or something like that. But a circus is the big top tent, so that's a little bit different. A carnival is a smaller version of a fair. So lots of times you can see carnivals on the side of the road with a few rides and a lot of kiddie rides mostly and little games you can play. And we used to play some of those shows as well, but most of the places we went to were big state fairs. So in the summer we would travel, and my dad had a basketball joint. He had a crazy ball birthday game. He had the balloon dart. He had a couple of other things at different times. And I traveled from the time I could remember. I mean, I used to sleep and take naps in boxes of stuffed animals. That's where they would put me down for a nap when I was like 2.
Your mom and dad were married?
Yeah.
So did you have a sister and brother?
4.
And they were all carnival family?
They were all carnies. And then, but, you know, we went to school during the school year. Then after graduation, my brother went to college for a little bit. He dropped out. And then he felt like he wanted to continue in my father's footsteps. So he was married and he had 2 sons, and they also did the whole carny thing. And way back when, you say I'm well adjusted, but way back when, it was a more wholesome atmosphere than it is today. You know what I mean? Today it feels a little seedy, maybe.
A little.
You know, when you go, I love going to the fair, but
I do too.
There's an element. When I was traveling with the fairs, there were those people called ride boys that they didn't really have a home. They just traveled with the rides to different fairs. They would sleep underneath the ride. But, you know, they were our people, so they were never going to hurt us or do anything. But they were definitely transient type of people. And then we traveled with some gypsies that didn't go to school. I mean, the kids didn't go to school. And my first kiss was with a gypsy boy who was like 12. We were like 12. And, you know, he didn't go to school, but he knew how to work in the joint, which was the game. And I think, so why do I think I'm well adjusted? I think that, you know, I saw a lot. And these people who were maybe the fringe people of society in a way were my friends. And we were also a family, and there were other families that traveled too. So I don't know. Nothing like freaks me out or scares me. I'm used to the absurd, and I'm used to, people being around me that feel like they're the outsider, or, and listen, I guess I've been, you illuminated this for me in this moment, that I've been hawking myself my whole life, because I also ran one of the games. I ran the basketball joint game my dad gave it to me when I was around 12.
Oh my gosh.
And I had it.
You had a business at 12.
I had a business at 12. And I had a guy working for me who was an older guy.
Oh, God.
He was an agent in the joint. And I would give him 30% of what he took in.
Why did you give him 30%?
Well, that was what he would make for the day. Like whatever.
He was your employee.
Well, I guess so. I mean, my father, it's kind of weird. I guess
your father owned the game.
Yeah.
You worked it. And you had to give a guy 30%.
I was the head of the store. I was the head of that joint.
Yeah, the basketball shop.
So I don't remember what he gave me. He probably took all my money, but he gave my worker 30% of whatever he took in, and then my father kept the rest.
And what would you make?
What?
What would you make in a day?
What would you make in a day? I mean, back then, how much was
70s?
How much was it to play?
70s?
25 cents.
Yeah.
So you'd get 3 shots, 3 tries to put this basketball into the basketball hoop, but it wasn't regulation size. It was a little smaller, so it would take a few tries. I was doing it all day long,
so
I could make every basket. But the guys that would come up, and we were told, so talk to the guys that are with their girlfriends, because they, the guys want to impress their girls. So say, hey, buddy, come on in, show your girl how you can win one. Hey, stud, get over here. Let's see how you are. Let's see that arm. Stuff like that. Then they'd come right over being really proud. Oh, yeah, I can make a basket. And then they couldn't do it because it was not, it was not the right size. So it was messed up a little bit. But let me just say this. There are states, and it's probably still true to this day, there are states in this country where you're allowed to have a fair where the games are games of chance and you can win them. But there are other states where they allow you to have games where maybe you can't win at because it's deemed entertainment.
So what are you saying, Barbara? You know what I just love about you? There's about 6 levels that just happened in that little exchange. You know what you just did? Barbara was being real. And then Barbara got a little scared that she was like, oh, am I doing something deceptive? So then let me give you a state legislator. This is what Barbara did. Barbara, you're so funny.
Thanks for following that.
Oh, my God. There's so much worse going on in the world.
But there's so much worse. But my father, all of his games were games of chance. Except.
My father was a good one.
Except one time, my dad had the balloon dart, right? So you've seen that before where you.
Don't tell me they were like. Impenetrable or something.
No, you break the balloon. That's fine. All the darts are the same. But behind there's a tag, small, medium, or large. So when you break the balloon, you turn the tag over, and then you give a prize. Either this small little plastic toy, small, medium, kind of a medium stuffed animal, little stuffy, or one of those big stuffed animals, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at all the tags. At one point, maybe, I don't know how old I was, 8 or 9 or something. I looked at all the tags, and I thought to myself, most of the tags read small. There's only a couple mediums, and I don't see any larges. So I took it upon myself to get some blank tags, and I wrote on there, large, 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 medium, 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 medium. And then I switched the tags. So all of a sudden, one day, all these people were winning prizes. Everybody was so happy, and I was so proud of myself.
Look at you.
I didn't tell anybody I did this, but then my parents found out, and, they couldn't yell at me because I was kind of doing the right thing.
Look at you making up for those games of chance.
Yes. I wanted more people to win and be happy and get a bigger prize. And that's how I feel like I am today, Jamie.
100%.
I want everybody to have fun and to have chili and get a bigger prize and get a bigger piece of the pie. And how can I help you in your career and what you're doing and what can we do together and, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go back because you said a lot of stuff and it's really interesting. So oh God, you said so much. Just being in that world is so, you learn so much.
Mm-hmm. How to deal with people.
You learn so much. And then you have this guy as your employee. And he's an adult.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's weird.
I did think it was weird that my father did that.
It was weird.
In a way. Yeah.